special episode of What's the Word Wednesday. Hey. Very special episode of What's the Word Wednesdays, where we do our very best to try to motivate you, encourage you, inspire you, lift you up, and give you some practical everyday nuggets that you can use for your business. I am Eric E. Clifton, and we got a special co-host for you on this evening, none other than my brother from another mother, the superstar director himself, Mr. 4-star, all the way from the west side of where you at now? Clinton, Brandywine, I forget. Mr. Preston Scott himself. What's going on, sir? Are you in the building? Where you at?
It's Southeast Brandywine. Get it right.
Southeast Brandywine. Get it right.
What's going on, man? I'm excited to be in the building on tonight. I'm looking forward to making some things happen. Let's chop it up.
Absolutely. So listen, while you guys are tagging your friends and telling them to jump on this special edition of What's the Word Wednesday, because we got some special guests, we're going to introduce one of our guests. We had two of them on here a second ago. Where did they go? But we're going to introduce this young lady. She's coming to you. She's making it happen in the business, ladies and gentlemen. There she is. There she is. Miss Erica Bowie. Go ahead. I introduce yourself. Go ahead and tell everyone who maybe hasn't seen your pretty smile exactly where you're from. You're director in this amazing opportunity, but let them know where you're hailing out of.
Hello. Thank you so much. It is an honor and privilege to be here. And I am Erica Bowie, coming from Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City?
Kansas City.
Did I say it right?
A little bit. You almost. You almost did.
Hey, look, it don't matter. I got to get out there a couple of times. You know, then I get to say it right.
Absolutely.
It don't matter.
You gotta get some barbecue, and then you say it automatically.
Look, it's all good. You know, I'm listen. I'm a 49er fan anyway. It doesn't even matter. You know,
it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Look, what happened to your buddy? What happened to your buddy? Where'd she go?
I don't know. I got kicked out too, so we'll see. She may be coming back in.
Oh yeah. How you get kicked out? That's because y'all on y'all cell phones. All right. So before we jump into it, Mr. Scott, since you're the co-host on today, go ahead and give us the announcements that we all need to know about.
All righty. You all know that tonight in about 1 hour, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have our PBR that we do on Wednesday nights. That's platinumwednesdays.com. Platinumwednesdays.com. It's an opportunity for you to get your guests on and make sure that they're there. And then we want to provide them with a quality presentation to help them to make an educated decision. And then tomorrow night, for those who are in the Maryland area, DC area, Virginia, Northern Virginia, Southern Maryland, we will be in Oxon Hill tomorrow night. That is, then take note, there has been a time change on that. 6:45 will be training. And so the registration is 6:30. Training is 6:45. The presentation itself still will be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's tomorrow night. Make sure you make note of that and make sure you are in the building. And then we will have this weekend, if I'm not mistaken, in this weekend, let me double check. Here we have Mr. Donald Bradley doing the International Locker Room. And that is, yes, Sunday, November the 20th, ladies and gentlemen. So you want to make sure you check on that. We've sent that out to your directors, to your DITs, and to your gold builders. And I believe your bronze and silver builders have access to that as well. But this Sunday, it's going to be a double header, okay? 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the locker room from Mr. Bradley. And of course, you all know every Sunday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do have our game plan live. And then my last for the month, I will be in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been in Atlanta, Georgia on November 29th, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be there with some of our team members at the weekly briefing. And then finally, if you're in the Maryland market, on December 3rd, you want to make sure you grab your tickets for Super Saturday in the Maryland. We're going to be in Baltimore this time, right? We're normally considered in the DMV market area, but this time we're going to be actually closer to Baltimore, next to BWI, Erica Bowie's favorite airport. We'll be at BWI, ladies and gentlemen. That's MarylandSuperSaturday.com, MarylandSuperSaturday.com. Back to you, E. Cliff.
Hey, we have our next special guest back in the building. I think she has some bad internet connection over there. But listen, we have the superstar amongst superstars. We call her Killer Cam. Killer Cam, how are you on this evening?
I am great. How are you?
We are super fantastic. And listen, we're going to let you go ahead for the people who don't know, right? And the people who haven't met you and seen your smiling face as well. Go ahead and tell them what city you are the director out of.
I am in Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines, Iowa. Okay, now look, I want to say, where is Des Moines, Iowa? But it's in Iowa.
And she speaks fluent Iowese.
Iowese? Oh, good gracious.
That's a language. It's a whole different language in Iowa. They speak Iowese. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. So listen, we have you ladies on here this evening simply because you guys are knocking it out the park in this network marketing opportunity. So myself and Mr. Scott here, we have a few questions. Some of it you probably been asked before, but on this platform, we're going to ask them to you again. And most importantly, we want you to be speaking to the people that desire to reach you all's position. We're going to highlight the fact that you guys did what you've done in the places that we can hardly. You say Des Moines, Iowa, places we ain't even think that people actually live there, right? And then we got Kansas City. Who knew that they actually had good chicken wings in Kansas City? I hear that they got good wings in Kansas City. So listen, but you guys are killing the game in this industry, and people are thinking, it's hard to get done, especially since we had the pandemic come through. People are a little weary about doing what we're doing, but you guys, hands down, are making it happen. So we're going to be discussing that. Before we jump into that, I wanted to play really quickly for people who haven't heard the testimony or short testimony from Natalie Graham. She is the #1 income earner within this opportunity. And I thought it fitting to play a quick testimony from her as the #1 income earner. But not only that, she's #1 female income earner. And you two just happen to be females, and y'all are killing it in this business, which means your pockets are probably on swole right now. So this is all inspiration for all of the females who are watching right now, whether you're single mothers or you're married or whatever your situation may be. And it definitely should be motivation to all of the guys, because we got no excuse.
For a household of 5. A lot of people might say, I have to make that work. No, you can't. My rent was $1,200. One of my cars was $500. If you add that up, that's $1,700. Deduct that from $2,200, that is broke. So I decided to do something different. I decided to go back to school, and everybody's like, yay, Natalie's going to get her master's. No, Natalie's going to get that financial aid check to pay for her bills. And that's what I did for a while, you guys. My very first meeting, raise your hand again, guys. My very first meeting, I was riding dirty. Y'all know what riding dirty is in Virginia? My tags were expired. I couldn't afford to get my car fixed, so for a whole year, my tags were expired. I applied for food stamps. They denied me. They said that I gross too much. But that is no longer my story, you guys. Because of this business, I was able to step out on faith. I put feet to my faith, right? And I was able to grow an organization of over 18,000 around the world. I was able to, retire at the age of 33. Yes. Not only that, I was able to help my son retire at the age of 21. I was able to build a six-figure income for my husband and retire him in his late 20s. Don't ask me, don't do the math. Bought my dream house, which is no longer my dream. I also bought another house in Cabo. I bought my dream car, my Bentley. I just did something else. Y'all will find out about it next week. But these are all material things, you guys. When I say now that we have all made our way up the elevator, all we're doing is sending it back down, and we're bringing everybody else up with us. So thank y'all so much for coming out today.
I get remotivated every time I hear a little piece of her story about what she went through, her challenges, how she just never quit, never gave up. Mr. Scott, since you're a guest here on the platform, you can go ahead and ask a question, any question to either one of the lovely ladies. Let's jump into it.
Absolutely, man. It's on the strength of that. I guess we can start with Erica, and then Cam, you can answer the same question. In a male-dominated profession of network marketing, how important do you feel it is as a lady, as a woman, to be successful in something that's considered a man's sport? Had you ever thought about it? Had you ever considered it? And if you have, is that a part of the motivation? Are you just naturally good at what you do, or do you use that as a way to, say, you know what, I'm gonna get this done, I'm gonna be successful?
I'll say convention last year was my very first convention that I attended. And to see that network marketing was a male-dominated space, but to go to that convention, to go to the women's locker room and see these millionaire women on this stage dominating this industry, gave me the drive and push that I needed to say, hey, I'm going to join these ladies and we are going to dominate this space. So yes, it has had a great impact on me personally, to get in here and make it happen. Cam?
Wow. I think great minds think alike. Because when Preston asked that question, seriously, the first thing that came to my mind was convention. Last year wasn't my first time, Erica, but my very first time to see the evidence on the stage. I mean, it was definitely powerful. But it also takes me back, and I mentioned this before, it takes me back to our team, because the women who embraced me that didn't know me, because again, we all talked via Facebook, but we had never met in person. I remember Jennifer Miller Smith sitting there. LaRonda Pierce was sitting there. Kathy Smith, and they all took me in, as well as Deborah Bond, right? So I'm like, man, if they can do it, I can do it. And to watch them walk across that stage. And then also there was a young lady that was there that I think she had lost her husband like 3 months prior. And to hear her testimony about that pledge and to let you know that it was real, I'm like, yeah, I got to get there.
Now here's the question. Because you both had similar sparks, things that motivated you, right? Motivation will get you started. Commitment and then some discipline is required to keep you going. But my question for you is, and it's for both of you guys, it's almost like after coming back from church on Sunday and you all inspired, and then Monday you go to work and the boss does something and you just cuss him out, and you forgot all about the foundational principles you were taught just the day before, just like that. It happens so many times. What was it that you ladies did that, whether it was something mental you did, whether you had the discipline, what did you do to keep the fire going? Because it's not about motivation no more. What did you do to keep the fire going after leaving convention?
Well, I tell my team all the time, like, consistency will get you much further than motivation will ever get you, because you're not motivated every day. Life happens, things happen. But if you're consistent in what you do, if you're used to doing something, that comes natural to you. And that's what kind of kept me going. after convention, just continuing to pour into the team, continuing to read and talk to like the Cams in the business, the Deborah Bonds, to keep you going, to reach out to Coach Scott and let him pour into us. This is an amazing team. Everybody supports everybody, and I'm just grateful for that leadership, to be able to continue to be consistent and to move forward and block out the distractions.
I think for me, it's just a matter of when you're at convention, you're right. You're on a high and you come back home, but you can't come back home and then I know a lot of us have notebooks where we take notes and just push that to the side. So I kind of decompress and I kind of replay things back as far as what took place. I look back over my notes and then it's time to execute. And for those that didn't go as far as my team, I make sure that I share that information with them. But I also make sure that, again, I'm following duplication because I remember Preston's done it, Deborah's done it as far as, okay, let's all get together. And I want those of you that did go to convention to share with those that didn't, what did you get from out of that? So that really kept me going as far as the motivational piece. But also we all know we got the back office. When that stuff hits back there, I do the replay. Even though I was there, because we all know that just like reading a book, you may miss something, even though you were actually there, or you actually read that. So that's my motivation. And you got to also have that open mindset to know that you're going to have some downtime. That fire may not be as high as it was before, but does that mean that you stop? No, you don't. You got to have those. For me, I have things posted around my home as far as the motivational, the reminders that, you know what, okay, this day may not have been the way you want it to be, but guess what? You got to continue to press forward.
This good. And I want to ask this question, and I think this is a burning question that a lot of people actually want to know, but some people may not know how to ask you this question. And I'm gonna throw it out there because the both of you, if someone did not know, they probably would assume that you all are on one another's team somehow. So I want to know, and I'm gonna start with Cam, because typically to build that sideline relationship, Jim Rohn talks about leading people in network marketing is like herding cats, like trying to get cats to go in one direction, which is just, virtually impossible. But you two have created, such a bond, no pun intended, in working together. Normally, again, not to be, talking about the male-female thing, but that's just being frank. Normally, that's kind of a male thing. Normally, it's difficult to get, unfortunately, sometimes women to work together to that degree and to that magnitude. Cam, what is it about you? What is it about Erica that your sideline partners, nothing that you do affects one another financially? You didn't fall in each other's matrix, but you just have genuinely decided to work together. And it really embodies the spirit of what Imani and I really want to portray with this entire organization, because her and I have always been that way with sideline partners, to really bring a cohesiveness into whatever organization that we've been a part of. And we've never really shared that with you two, but you picked it up, you adopted it, and you're doing it so well. What we call y'all frickin' frack, Thelma and Louise, all that kind of good stuff. But Cam, I want to start out with you. What is that all about, and how did that come about?
Look, Preston, I don't even know how it came about. I just remember Erica and I had connected, right? And I'm a people person. I am very loyal. And when I connect with someone, man, you know what? It's just not that connection, but we form that bond, right? And I am my sister's keeper. I truly am. Erica's not too far from me. She's 2.5 hours away. So I definitely want to see her win. I want to say maybe we got connected during a boot camp, but I honestly don't remember. But what I do know is that there's nothing that I will not do for Erica. And no, we may not be connected to each other as far as me being on her team or her being on mine. But at the end of the day, it's the overall picture. And it's just not Erica. I would do that for anyone. Because at the end of the day, when one wins, we're all going to win. So yes, I'm always reaching out to her, checking on her. And I just love it. I just love the sisterhood because it's something that I truly feel like is very powerful. And as women, I share this with my daughters all the time. As women, we can be a trip, because you don't want to see the other person do better than you or whatever the case may be. But unfortunately, that's not me. That's not how my parents raised me. And at the end of the day, I'm excited for Erica. I want to see her soar. Her team is absolutely the bomb, so I don't know where it started. I just know that it did. And that connection will forever be there.
Yeah, before Erica goes, it was so bad. I was trying to avoid Fireball, and I had to give it to you at the same time. I was like, it's just like I couldn't do. So Erica, go ahead.
So I'm kind of with Cam, but I'll tell you, I know exactly where it started, and it started in boot camp. I had a 3-way call, and I called Cam, and she said, "Oh, okay." No, she was my mentor. We were mentoring. I mean, we were accountability partners. And she said, "Well, so you trying to get where? Okay. Well, how about we be to go by Saturday?" I said, "Well, now, wait a minute. It's Thursday." She's like, "Let's go." So that was the spirit in person that I felt. I mean, I immediately felt connected to that because let's go. I'm that type of person too. So immediately, I felt we were connected there, and it's been history ever since. And I'm like Kim, I'm a servant leader. So I've been in management for many years and learned to be that leader. And whatever I can do to help somebody else, support somebody, we're too close together not to support each other. So of course, we're closer than most. So I think that's what kind of brought the bond together, and not to mention the bond, um, Deborah Bond. Um, I'm telling you, between yourself, Miss Imani, Deborah, how could we not? I mean, we're just following, we're just duplicating. This is a duplication business, and we are just duplicating what we see. Integrity, just being there for everyone. And I'm here for it all, not just our organization, because I've reached out, and people have reached out to me from other organizations, and we are all Planet Marketing. So if I can assist somebody and help them win, that's what I'm going to do.
And I'm gonna say this: I like y'all bond better than Eric and Roger. By the way, oops, I ain't mean to say that out loud. Back to you, E.
That is hilarious. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm loving everything about it. For real. If I'm being honest, because I forget almost everything, right? Names, faces, the whole nine. But I promise you, I thought y'all was cousins. I didn't know. I really thought y'all rolled like y'all cousins. I thought y'all was like first cousins or something. That's powerful. People just think me and Roger on the same team every now and again, but I thought y'all was actually related. That's deep. What I also heard from when I'm listening to y'all, the and I'm hoping everyone else picked up on this too. The spark for both movements that we're talking about happened because you guys attended an event. You guys were connected to the planet. And then these other things went ahead and happened anyway. Obviously, you guys had to be coachable. So what I want you to speak on now, speak on how important it is to be coachable. And give, I guess, your definition of actually being coachable. Because a lot of people say, yeah, I'm coachable, up until you tell me to do something I don't really want to do, right? Like I want to get stronger and get big muscles without my muscles being stretched. And I went to school, and that's physically impossible. In order for you to grow bigger muscles, they have to be stretched and torn a little bit. It's going to hurt a little bit. So talk to us about the coaching of how important it is to be coachable, to actually listen to your coach. Preston says it all the time. Don't call me coach if you're not going to listen to my coaching. Right? So talk about coaching, ladies. Either one of y'all can go first. It don't matter.
Okay, I'll go first. It is very, very, very important to be coachable. And for me, when I think about that word, it kind of goes back to what you already said, Eric, as far as you definitely um, have to have that open mind to be stretched, but you also have to have that open mind to take constructive criticism, not take things personal. I mean, from anything from, you know what, Cameron, you put something out there on Facebook and it's non-compliance. I'm like, for real? I mean, why get upset about that? That is helping you. That is teaching you. Like, oh, you know what? And then guess what? One, you want to make sure that your team isn't going to do the same thing. But again, it's that duplication. Okay, I was told that. Oh, I learned that. So let me make sure that I pass that on to my team as well. You definitely have to be coachable because listen, if you're not, you're going to find yourself stuck. That's just the end of the game. You're going to find yourself stuck. And I learned that early on just because let me tell you something. If it wasn't for Preston and these boot camps, because I would be at home and I'd be like, oh my God. I'm like, he wants us to do what? But even though that's what I said, I'm talking to myself out loud. The point is I got it done because guess what? I was being stretched and I knew how bad I wanted it. I'm hungry, y'all. I mean, I am hungry. So if I get out of my comfort zone, which I have, but I appreciate that because in the midst of my team doing the same thing, I was coachable and learned from Preston the duplication to pass it on. So anytime you're going through something, it's going to always come back full circle. It just is. So, and then if there is something that, maybe your coach wants you to do and you aren't comfortable with it, to me, another thing as far as being coachable is just don't say yes and not do it, but share that information with your coach. That's what they're there for, to help you to get there, to walk you through it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Be very transparent about it. There's a lot of things I didn't want to do in boot camp. But after I got through that one, I thought, oh, I got this. I got to that second one and I said, oh my God. So yes, it's going to continue to stretch you. And it's how far do you want to go? Or do you want to stay stuck? And I don't want to stay stuck. So listen, be coachable. We all have our sponsors. We have our directors. So, if you feel like you're not, or if you want to know if you are not, listen, ask them. But if you ask them, you got to be prepared for the answer. Be coachable, y'all. It's important.
I love it. I love it.
I second what Cam said, exactly what she said. Another thing I'll throw in there, I consider myself an alpha female. So with that being said, I'm very stuck in my ways. I believe what I believe. So it was very challenging for me at first to hear somebody say, listen, you're doing this wrong. You need to do this. And I'm like, why? You know, but what I will say is, um, being coachable is a must in this business. You don't know it. You don't know what you don't know. And it's okay because that's the good thing about this organization is yes, you will receive some constructive criticism, but um because you believe in your leaders, because they have shown you, not just told you, because they have shown you the way and shown you that this works. There was a lot of things that I didn't agree with Deborah coming to me, with Preston coming to me and telling me, listen, you got to do this a little different. Like, why? How you gonna tell me to do it different? But these people are coming to us and they are documented. These are documented earners. So you can't be full of yourself or think that you can't learn from other people. I've learned from even people on my team. So you have to remain coachable. Listen, don't take offense. Um, constructive criticism is a must for you to grow. If you're not receiving it, you're not growing. I want someone to tell me and correct me or push me in the right direction to go. And I'm so grateful and thankful that I ended up in this organization because I tell you, I've seen a lot of organizations and we are truly, truly, truly blessed. I say it again, we're truly blessed to be under this leadership and be able to feel confident when they are coming to us with constructive criticism to go ahead and follow and not question and not not question that and just move forward and go with it. So just remain coachable. Everyone that has remained coachable on my team is soaring. Everyone, I know Kim can say the same. But we had to be those people first. So you have to be the evidence first. Be coachable.
I'm gonna throw it back to you, Erica. What's driving you right now, and how are you able to navigate with your life that's happening, your job, family situation, whatever is going on? What's driving you, and then how are you able to navigate with life happening every day?
So what I've learned is life is going to happen every day. There are going to be some things that are thrown in your way. This past year, really the last 2 years, but this past year, when I was going through my director's run, it started then. And I tell you, life threw me some punches. I've been married. I've been with my husband 27 years. Um, it threw me some punches. I'm going through a divorce. So in the midst of that, I used that pain, I used that trauma, I used all that bundled up, and I decided to push. You know, I didn't want to just sit there. I had women that committed, women and men at the time that committed to me, that trusted me, and so even though life was going on, even though I was in the worst times of my life, um, I knew that I had these people that were entrusted, that trusted me and my word to get them where they said they were gonna, where I said I would help them get to. So you have to block out the distractions, and that's not easy. It's not easy, but it's a must. If you are pursuing your goals, if you are pursuing your purpose, and I know that this is my purpose, I had to block out all of it. I still have to block it out daily. It's nothing's changed. I'm still going through. However, I'm going to keep a smile on my face. I'm going to know that I know where I'm going. I know that I'm going to accomplish everything I set out to accomplish, and I'm going to help these people on my team, my sisters in success, accomplish their goals too.
Cam, same question. What's driving you, and how are you able to navigate with life happening every day?
Listen, I'm like Erica. It's amazing, even more so when you're invited to such a platform as this, because a lot of times people don't realize that you're going through. So mine is pretty much like Erica, because a lot of times I'll get inboxes from people, oh my God, you're so inspiring. And I'm thinking, oh, you have no idea. That's for me. That is for me, so I can keep going, because everybody knows Valencia graduated in May. She's in college, but what people don't know is Cameron is fitting that bill. She has a whole daddy somewhere, right here in Iowa, but it's me. I'm fitting that bill. And there are times where, matter of fact, it just happened 2 days ago, I will literally, I don't want to say call the breakdown, but I get really emotional, because I know if it was not for this business that I would not be able to do what I'm doing. But I'm also not that type that I'm not going to plaster all over Facebook either. And I'm not going to have that, well, it's me time, because that's what's motivating me is her, and I'm also that type that, oh, you think you're going to stop something? Oh, no, you ain't stopping nothing. She's still going to go to college. She's still going to be successful because she got a mama. And I am driving and I am pushing for her, and I'm her biggest cheerleader. So, and I love this too, because a lot of times people just think, oh, everything's peaches and cream in everybody's lives that's doing the travel business. No, it's not. It's not. But if you want it bad enough, and that's why I said I'm hungry, if you want it bad enough, you'll do it. And yeah, I may have my moment, I may have my hours, but guess what? I'm not going to allow myself to stay there. So Valencia is definitely my drive, and she always will be, as well as my other.
She done froze up.
She got the game face on though. If you're gonna freeze, that's how you freeze, with the game face.
If you're gonna freeze, you are absolutely right about that. Listen, I'm loving Pete, did you hear her say she hungry?
Yeah, several times, right?
She's hungry,
Yeah.
right? Reminded me of what of how I felt when I lost the job, right? And I was like, people, we got to do, right?
Sure.
I was hungry. I got to tap back into that hunger. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Sometimes we can get a little bit too comfortable. Sometimes I remember Scott, you said, look, sometimes you got to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation so you can start making these moves. I love what Erica said. You got to block distractions. If y'all ain't get nothing else, it's the reason why half of you, especially during the holidays, would you agree with? Some people need to block some distractions. Come hella high water, right? Uh, Something that I thought about when I forget which one of you guys were talking, but it reminded me about like when the pandemic hit and everybody was shutting down, whether it was your part-time business or whatever you were shutting down. People were just shutting down stuff, not necessarily because the government said you had to shut down. I'm talking about people who shut down stuff on their own. I'm not going to talk about this travel business right now. I'm not going to talk about this. I'm not going to do this, that, and the third. And they just shut down completely, maybe even quit. And I thought about what Erica said. You know, she had people who entrusted her, Pete.
Yeah.
She told people, probably called some of them and said, hey, I found a way, right? And then they paid $200. They entrusted her that she was going somewhere. And one of our partners said, listen, it's hard to follow a parked car. So here it is, you all out in the street with your bullhorn talking about follow me, come on, Planet Marketing is the stuff. I'm going this way. Get in your cars, let's go. And everybody get in their car and get behind you. And a month later, we still in the same damn place, and people sitting there like, well, I don't know if this gonna work. How long is it gonna take for people to check out? And she said, listen, I couldn't let what's going on around me stop me from continuing to take these people where they say they had to go. That's deep right there.
Mhm.
Some of us would be like, hey man, you know what? I ain't never seen McDonald's close. Somebody owned that McDonald's. I know they I mean, you know, they probably went through something, but the McDonald's was never closed. Good. Go ahead. Next question for Erica P.
Whoo. I just want you to at this moment, Erica, while we wait on Cam to come back, is there something on your heart? Because you know we have questions, but you have wisdom in things that you've learned as well over your time being in network marketing, being in with this company. Is there something that you may want to share with somebody who's looking, you know, may see this next week, may see this next month, may even see this next year, to encourage them to either keep going, to encourage them to push past the pain? There's some words that you would love to share with somebody that will help them to get to that next level?
Sure. I'll just say stick and stay, guys. Life is going to happen whether you're in this business or not, but you're in the business. So stick in it no matter what. When I tell you, um, I have I have gone through some things that I couldn't imagine this year. I have lost some people that I didn't think that I could breathe without. Okay. But because I have surrounded myself with great people to continue to inspire me, to continue to push me, even when I'm feeling like I don't want to be pushed today. I don't want to be pushed. Continue to push me no matter what my attitude is. They continue to support me, continue to push me, continue to motivate me, even when the hardest of hardest times are coming about. Don't give up on you. You trusted that you could do this business. That's why you signed up for the business. Um, Trust that you're going to make it through. Troubles don't last always. Tough people do. Okay. Stick with it. Don't give up. No matter what it looks like. Don't give up. Stay in there. Work hard. Put in the work. Um, get plugged in. Stay plugged in. Do your part. Do your part. It's gonna come back. If you are doing, that's why I like the guarantees. Like if you're doing your part, IntelliTravel's gonna, and Planet is gonna do their part. You just have to stick and stay and do your part. The evidence is going to show. Get close to your sponsors. Get close to your upline. Learn as much as you can learn. You can't learn too much. It's so much in this business to pick up that every day you can learn something new. um Stick in there. Get you somebody like a Cam is 2.5 hours away from me, but I know if I was to call her right now and say, Cam, listen, I'm in a bad place, I need you right now, Cam's gonna pick up and she's gonna do what she has to do. If she got to stay on the phone with me all night, that's what we're going to do. Vice versa. If she has to drive up here, if I have to drive to Iowa, that's what I'm going to do. That's what we're going to do. That's the sisterhood that we have created. That's the bond that we have created. Find you someone. It's so many people in this organization, not just Cam. I mean, there are people that I can pick up. Deborah Bond has sat on the phone. Cam, Deborah, and myself, we have pulled all-nighters and have to go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay. We have pulled all nighters for each other. So, find those people. There are several people, numerous. I mean, these relationships that you build, the bonds that you build. My sister, the Queen of New York, I can call her any day and time, LaShura. I need to talk. And she's going to pick up that phone day or night and she's going to talk. So find those people. They're here, they're in this opportunity. Don't give up on you. Always fight for you. We got places to go, y'all.
Woo. Look, that was deep. I'm not saying much behind that. Killer Cam, she was talking about you. 90% of what she was talking about, you might have missed it. So, Pete, go ahead. I didn't forgot what the question was.
I didn't really ask a question, Cam, because you ladies are dynamic. You have a wealth of wisdom. I just asked Erica just to share from her heart, because again, there are people who want to see this obviously live tonight. There are people who want to watch the replay. Somebody's going to see this next year. Platinum Network's not going anywhere. Somebody may see this 5 years from now. And I want you to just drop that seed in someone's heart, if you will, just from your heart. Maybe some words of encouragement, why you do what you do, whatever it is. But just to that person who may see this a year, 2, 3 years from now, and like, wow, while you are, 3 or 4 star director, they'll see you saying this as a 1-star. So what would you have to share with those folks?
I would just say there comes a time where you're just going to have to get in a room by yourself. We all know what our strengths and our goals are. Our strengths, our weaknesses, right? And you have to ask yourself, am I ready to make that change? Because no one can make it for you. Negativity don't live here where Cam's at. It just doesn't. And that's even speaking for myself. Sometimes I have to have that self-talk to myself. Listen, no, we're not going to do that. Because again, you're going to hear me say it over and over. It allows you to stay stuck, and I had someone reach out and said, oh my God, you and Erica's bond is just absolutely wonderful. I wish I had that. And it's going to come. It's going to come because see, when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, or for those of you that believe in the power of prayer and you pray about it, it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Never be envious of what someone else has, because you can have the same thing, the exact same thing. I heard Erica mention that there's nothing that she wouldn't do for me, and it's vice versa. I meant what I said. I am my sister's keeper. I talked to several people. The bonds are totally, totally different. I don't know how many people know me and Juanita's bond as far as our background. We've been knowing each other from Pampered Chef days. And I met Juanita on the internet, Facebook. So people, listen, you got to get to know people because the stories are powerful. Just like I said earlier, convention, I knew people on Facebook. I knew names. I talked to people, but to actually meet somebody in person, and me and Twanita met for the first time in person because my director in Pamper Chef was getting married. Now, how crazy is that? So it can definitely happen. Just continue to push yourselves. The good thing, the most important thing for me too is really what we already discussed as far as being coachable, but also know that when we say you're in business for yourself and never by yourself, don't wait for someone else to maybe reach out a hand to you. You know, you can do the reaching first, because sometimes I hear that too. It's like, you know, it's a two-way street. So just make sure you guys are doing that. I love each and every one of you guys. I love What's the Word. I definitely appreciate having the opportunity to be on here. Erica, I love you. You know, again, like she said, for us to be so close as far as where we live, whether it's 2.5 hours, 3 hours, there's no reason why we would not bond. So yeah, you know, man, I'm just excited. You see how Facebook wouldn't let me be great, but what do? You keep pushing. I could have gave up and walked away and said I'm done, but you keep pushing. That's another example. All right, y'all, I'm done.
Listen, Pete, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but they keep talking about it, and it's strange. And y'all who live in this DMV area, you'll understand why I consider it strange, because Preston, they're talking about 2.5 hours like it's round the corner. Understand this, 2.5 hours is 2.5 hours last I checked. That's from me from here to Philly. That's a road trip and some tolls and stuff. They putting tolls on it, ladies and gentlemen, and gas prices. Y'all directors now, I don't know what y'all are driving, but I mean, I gotta get in the a Prius or something to ride 2.5 hours in these gas prices right now. And you guys are doing that for sideline partners. I'm saying this because if you would do 2.5 for a sideline partner, I know you'd do at least 3 for an actual business partner or a new person that is showing the necessary, you get it, the characteristics to do those things. But hats off to you two for setting the example of what I believe we all as leaders are trying to show, that this is what this opportunity is about. This is what the Platinum Network is about. And I'm still tripping off this 2.5 hours because I got people that live around the corner. When I say around the corner, I mean almost walking distance. And it's like, you know.
It's something about this area though. You're right. It's almost what's the word I'm thinking about, man? It's just like
Are we too bougie over here?
It's a little bit it's almost like a sense of entitlement. You know what I'm saying? Nation's capital. You know what I mean? I don't know about other areas, but I definitely can understand where you're coming from, E, as it relates to this particular market here. And then I don't know where I don't know where the hunger is. You know what I mean? A lot of people here, man, they GS 4000s, and you know, right. It's you know, they okay. They okay. And not just in this area, but I can see it in this area, but there's other areas as well. But I can tell you this. I don't think I'm mistaken by this, but I don't believe I've ever been to Iowa and not seen Erica Bowie. And I don't think I've ever been to Kansas City and not seen Cam, which is just interesting to me because, again, tomorrow night, there are people who I just will never see on Thursday nights. And they're doing it for each other, but there's some people who won't even come out and do it for themselves. And this is why you're going to see individuals who are going to just shoot past some folks, as the seed that they're planting they're going to reap a harvest from that. And people get involved in this profession, and they can make up all these excuses. They call it a pyramid scheme. Well, people don't make any money. Well, people don't give any effort, quite frankly. And we're just seeing that, man. It's about effort. I think Erica said it best earlier that whatever I know I wrote, I typed it. Consistent effort or something. Being consistent is greater than being motivated. And I love that, man, because motivation is like a shower. You're going to need it every day because that daggone thing wears off. And after a while, you stinking again. It's not about being motivated. It's about being disciplined. And discipline breeds consistent effort. So I'm excited, man, about this. I'm pleased that I was able to join. However, let's send our prayers and our thoughts to Mr. Roger Lillard, who wasn't able to make it because he had an emergency as far as his health is concerned. So he's dealing with that on tonight. But I'm definitely pleased that I can step in and for the great 20-plus year veteran on tonight, and with you as well, Mr. Clifton, and you amazing, beautiful ladies on tonight who are just killing the game and making it happen. Killer Cam, tonight we're gonna officially name. You know, I'm the official name. Erica Bowie's new name is The Truth. Period. She is the truth. Erica Bowie. That's it. It's official. I'm out. I gotta get ready for the Zoom on tonight and make sure that I'm there in place with the leaders over there. God bless you all. We'll see y'all soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know how we do it. Each and every first and third Wednesday, right back here. First and third Wednesday, doing our best, trying to motivate you, encourage you, inspire you, and lift you up. Make sure y'all have a nice, cool, smooth evening. Hope y'all rocking with me. That's it. Y'all need to get y'all guests on Super Snapping Wednesday call. Platinum Wednesday. Hey, thank you so very much.